Good morning, everybody. Just want to give an update on the new petition. So we started it Saturday night and we're up to around 280. And I think we found our mojo on this one based on the comments, on the different types of people signing. So I really think this is going to take off. Just an explanation of what exactly the issue is. So I'll give you a few scenarios where Amazon feels it has the right to hold money, and I feel it does not. Apparently everybody agrees with me because I haven't heard any explanation of why Amazon has the right to hold the money. So let's say I'm a new seller and I'm selling Honeywell items. So what Amazon would do is, let's say after a few weeks, they're holding $10,000 and they'll say the item may be inauthentic and they'll ask you for an invoice. Now Amazon has predetermined ways in which it wants an invoice to look. It's actually gotten a lot better in recent years, but if they don't accept that invoice for a certain way, for whatever reason, then they don't really tell you why. What they would do is they would say, okay, so the invoice is unacceptable, so the items must be counterfeit, and then they keep it. Now, if they really think the item is counterfeit, obviously what they should do is refund the buyer, but they don't do that. And then they don't send the money to the seller saying that you're a bad seller. So I'm just saying either give the money back to the buyer or give the money back to the seller after a certain amount of time. Another scenario is you can have a long time seller. For example, Stephen on the petition. He could be selling for a couple of years, millions of dollars. And then you get a couple of inauthentic complaints. And then Amazon does not accept the invoices also for the same whatever reason. And I understand why maybe he should be suspended. Well, not Stephen, but I understand why maybe a seller should be suspended if the invoice is not verifiable. But there's no reason in the world, if there's not a high amount of complaints and you're not refunding the buyer, that after a certain amount of time, why that should not be sent back to the buyer. It's just to the seller. It's ridiculous for Amazon to hold the money. I would say to Amazon that unlike shut the ASIN, not the seller, and inventory destruction justice, so in those petitions, we pretty much needed what we said, because either you're going to stop destroying inventory needlessly or not. Over here, with the holding the money, we definitely have a lot of flexibility. PayPal, in certain scenarios, holds it for 365 days, and then they eventually release it. So it definitely got some flexibility. It's not, my way or the highway, 120 days. But definitely, broadly speaking, the funds should eventually either be refunded to the buyer or released to the seller. For sellers, I would say it's very important in a petition like this. You see 2,000 signatures, 3,000 signatures, which is a great accomplishment because you're dealing just with Amazon sellers. If you're dealing with, Save the Puppies, so everyone's going to sign it, right? We don't want to save the puppies or the Amazon. But when you're dealing with Amazon sellers, so 3,000 is great. If you get it to 8,000, 10,000, it's a major difference for a company like Amazon. They don't just look at it, oh, a lot of people signed it. So it's really important that it gets out there. But I like the Facebook groups, the different Facebook groups, and the WhatsApp statuses are really good because the people who you have in WhatsApp are like close to you. So if they feel that you have a reason to put it on your status, they're going to sign it and they may put it on their status. So let's get it out there if you feel it's a warranted petition. I think it definitely is. Keep putting the comments. The comments are fantastic because that makes it believable and gives it social proof. And I'll see you soon. Thank you.